Morris, because the name I have is for a European, not the name of a black African. So take back your name and give a the name. I and I don't want this your name. Chinese name, Jin and Chung. and the repatriation. Jaja time has come. We don't want no explosion. Jaja time has come. Give us justice and righteousness. For Jaja time has come. People, let me tell you. For Jaja time has come. Oh, yeah. Jaja time has come. Give us freedom of reality. Jaja time has come. We don't want no partiality. Jaja time has come. Give us unity, not vanity. Tell you. For Jaja time has come. People, let me tell you. For Jaja time has come. Oh, yeah, yeah. Jaja time has come. Jaja time has come. For Jaja time has come. Jaja time has come. Yeah. Jaja time has come. Yeah. Jaja time has come. What are we living for? Jaja time has come. To reach the kingdom of Jaja. Jaja time has come. But only with a clean hands and a pure in heart shall you reach there. For Jaja time has come. People, let me tell you. For Jaja time has come. Oh, yeah. Jaja time has come. This is a time of repatriation. Jaja time has come. Not a time of imitation. No way. Jaja time has you come. Get to be of the Iration, the nation. For Jaja time has come. People, let me tell you. For Jaja time has come. Oh, yeah, yeah. Jaja time has come. That time has come now. Jaja time has come. Oh, yeah. Jaja time has come. That time has come. Jaja time has come. Yeah. Jaja time has come. Jaja time has come. Jaja time has come now.
First things first, we look upon the so-called Negro in America as a sick man. When a man, you may say, well, what do I mean sick? If a man has forgotten his name, he's a sick man. They call that amnesia. And if you go to the so-called Negro here in America and ask him his name, he doesn't know it. If a Chinese person came through that door and I asked him his name and he said his name was Patrick Murphy, you'd know he forgot his own name and has picked up an alias somewhere. So we who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when we see so-called Negroes named Murphy and O'Toole and Johnson and Smith and Powell and Wright and Wilkins, which are all English and Irish names, we think that they look just as much out of place as a group of Chinese would look wearing those same names. And they wear these names because they don't know their own name. They have lost their identity, their own identity. So this is amnesia. And by not knowing themselves, when a man doesn't know himself, he doesn't know what belongs to him. He could be the richest man on this earth, but by having lost his identity, he'll walk around like a pauper. So here we have 20 million black people in America who are wearing the names of their former slave master. And by suffering a form of amnesia, they don't have a name of their own, so they've taken your name. They don't know their own language, so they've taken your language. They don't have a history of their own, so they let you tell them what their history is. And that, in essence, is that you found them in the jungle someplace with a spear chasing white people in a cannibalistic way to try and give the impression that white meat is the only good meat to eat.
Minister Malcolm, I'd like to know why you place so much emphasis on calling the freedom struggle among Afro-Americans in this country a struggle for human rights rather than civil rights?
Well, most of our people don't even know the meaning of civil rights, and by not knowing what it is they're actually trying to get, it has eluded us for the past 100 years. Civil rights is supposed to mean citizenship. When you have civil rights, you have citizenship. When you have citizenship, you have civil rights. And if the 22 million Afro-Americans were actually citizens of this country, it wouldn't be necessary to pass any kind of additional legislation to include us in the Constitution. If you notice, whenever the people come here from Europe, they can come here from Poland, which is a communist country. They don't need any legislation to make this Polish person a citizen. They don't need any additional civil rights legislation to make the refugees from Hungary who come here citizens. They don't need any additional legislation to make anyone who comes to this country a citizen. But when it comes to the rights of the black people who are the descendants of slaves, then immediately new legislation is necessary. So this right here implies that when the Constitution was written, in some way or other, it must have excluded those of us who were slaves at that time. And because we were excluded from the Constitution when it was originally written, today they have to amend it in order to include us. But if you notice, the Civil War didn't include us in the Constitution. Had the Civil War Constitution, we would be citizens today. Had the amendments even to the Constitution actually included us, we would be citizens today. If the Supreme Court desegregation decision way back in 1954 was sufficient to include us into the jurisdiction of the Constitution, all of our problems would be solved today. So there's something about civil rights that makes it almost impossible for us to get it. So you have to know the difference between civil rights and human rights. As long as our people are begging for civil rights, or they are labeling their struggle for freedom, justice, and equality under the label of civil rights, then what they do is leave us in the jurisdiction of Uncle Sam's courts. And it's actually Uncle Sam who is guilty of all of the violation of our rights that have taken place in this country. So when you go to Uncle Sam to try and get some kind of redress over civil rights violations, you're taking your case to the man who's responsible for the violation. So the only way our people can really get some meaningful results, it has to be taken out of Uncle Sam's hands and taken into a world court. In the world court that has been set up to listen to the complaints of human rights violations is in the United Nations. Human rights are international, and civil rights come within the jurisdiction of the country where these rights are violated. Some people may wonder why our brothers from Africa and Asia have not spoken out more boldly or without compromise on the injustices that the 22 million Afro-Americans experience in this country. They can't speak out. As long as these injustices are labeled by us as civil rights, then this remains a domestic issue, and none of our people from abroad, because of protocol, can become involved in Uncle Sam's domestic problems. So all the civil rights groups have to do is expand the struggle from civil rights to human rights. And once it is expanded to the level of human rights, then this puts us in the position to charge Uncle Sam with violating the UN Charter on Human Rights. We can take it before the United Nations, and other nations of this earth can then side with us and indict Uncle Sam for the mistreatment of 22 million Afro-Americans. The very fact that the struggle of the black people in South Africa, or I should say the injustices that have been experienced by black people in South Africa has come before the UN, or the injustices experienced by our own people again in Angola has been brought before the UN. Even the oppression of the Hungarians has been brought before the UN. The plight of the Jews in Soviet Russia, and there's only 3 million of them in Russia, has been brought before the UN. Well, then why hasn't the problem of the 22 million Afro-Americans come before the United Nations? It has not come before them because the leaders of the civil rights struggle don't understand what civil rights actually amount to. When they are mature to the point where they can see that their present struggle has kept them under Uncle Sam's jurisdiction, and Uncle Sam is not morally capable of solving this problem, then they will shift it out of the courts of Uncle Sam and take it to the courts of the United Nations on the level of human rights, and we'll get some kind of meaningful results. As long as we keep it at the civil rights level, we alienate the support of our brothers and sisters in Africa and Asia. But when we shift it to the level of human rights, we have the support of billions of black, brown, red, and yellow people from all over this earth behind us.
The United States is a great world power and has in the past exercised a lot of control and power within the United Nations. So how can you expect to wage a successful battle against such a powerful country in a world court?
Well, whenever you believe in what the United States has taught us concerning democracy, which means one voice, one vote, this is good, because in the present world setup, world governmental setup, as is represented by the United Nations, each country there has one vote, which means that no matter how wealthy a nation is, it only has one vote. And no matter how poor a nation is, it still has one vote. So the ballot actually equalizes the poor man and the rich man. Back when the United Nations was set up, it consisted largely of white nations, because most of the dark nations were then colonized and weren't independent. Since the dark nations have gained their independence and have emerged on the scene, today in the UN you have more dark nations who are in a position to vote in a bloc than you have white nations. So that we have a situation now where the grouping together of the dark nations who formerly were colonized has given them enough political power to offset the military power and prestige of these mighty white nations of the West. And it is their support. It is only in the United Nations, where everyone has the doubt, where everyone has equal vote, that the plight of the black man can be given a just hearing, and the weight of the dark world can come down on our side and balance the scale on our side. But whenever you take it into the white man's court, you never will get justice, because the white man is the guilty one who committed the crime in the first place. It's like taking your case from the wolf to the fox to take it to Washington, D.C.
I don't think I wholeheartedly go along with that, Mr. Malcolm. I have some appreciation for your discussion as regards to the human right and the civil right. But here in America, as a band of Negroes, I think the most progressive thinking that we could possibly attain is civil rights. This is the thing that we want. This is the thing that we hope to get. This is the thing that we're going out to fight for. Without our civil rights, the human rights, and the rest of the elements are non-entities as far as
human rights come before civil rights.
That may be so, but the civil rights are an important factor.
You can never get civil rights until you have human rights. Human rights represent the right to be a human being. Whenever you are respected and recognized as a human being, your civil rights are automatic.
But if we get civil rights, we are human beings.
No, you have to get the recognition of human rights first. This is why people can come here from Africa and Asia and immediately are able to benefit from what the Constitution stands for, because they are recognized as a human being when they touch the shores of North America. But the black people in this country, all of our human characteristics were destroyed by slavery. Our language was destroyed. Our history was destroyed. Our culture was destroyed. And then the white man taught us that we were savages in the jungle and living at a subhuman level. And for this reason, when they put the Constitution together, they classified our people as 3/5 of a man, which meant subhuman, not a complete human being. And once our human characteristics were completely destroyed, this gave them justification for treating us like we were animals. And it also justified their selling us from plantation to plantation like you sell a horse and a cow and a bag of wheat. Why, George Washington himself historically is on record as having sold or having traded a black man for a keg of molasses, which shows you he didn't regard that black man as a human being. If the black man's human rights had been respected, he never could have been a slave here in America. And if his human rights had been restored by the Emancipation Proclamation, automatically we would have been citizens right after the Civil War. So we must be regarded as human. Our human rights must be respected before we can ever be regarded as citizens and our civil rights be respected.
Well, for the past 10 years, the struggle in America has been confined to what has been projected to the public as a civil rights struggle. And in that context, it has remained a domestic problem. It has remained within the jurisdiction of the United States. And as such, it has been impossible for the Afro-Americans or American Negroes to try and enlist the support of other dark-skinned people who are being oppressed the world over in that struggle. And the difference now in the direction that the struggle is taking, from the direction that the struggle has been going in the past, there are many of our people who are thinking more deeply and more broadly, and are beginning to see the importance of lifting it out of the national context, or out of the domestic context, or beyond the jurisdiction of the United States government. And the only way this can be done is by internationalizing the problem and putting it at a level where it can be taken into the United Nations, and then all of the other independent nations on this earth can involve themselves in our struggle and support us. And the only way by which this can be done, instead of it being called civil rights in the future, we're going to have to label it a human rights struggle, or the struggle for human rights. And as such, we can then take it into the United Nations through the avenues that have been set up by the United Nations Commission on Human Rights. We can take our problem before the United Nations in the same manner that the problem of South Africa, Angola, Mozambique, Hungary, the Arab refugee problem, it becomes a world problem. And as a world problem, then the Afro-American, or the so-called Negroes, equal results, because it's not left up to the one who's responsible for it anymore, but it's put at a level where the whole can see that our plight is wrong. It stood in our path in the past. It also makes a difference in the leadership. Those who have been posing as leaders of our people in America in the past, they can pose on this local stage where Uncle Sam is the master of the show and can prop them up and make them look good, or make them look better than they actually are, by giving them token gains and building them up an image. But when they step onto the international stage or the world stage, then Uncle Sam can't prop them up anymore. And their ability or lack of ability becomes exposed. And if they can lead us forward, they remain leaders. But if they can't, then they have to step aside, and more qualified and bona fide leaders step up from the masses of our people, and then we get faster progress, we get more results.
Greetings. Things in Time, stay with you. Reflection Thursday. Yeah. We dropped that for reasons. And the reasons is, hopes everybody who out there are listen, and give thanks to the listenership. Yeah, give thanks. The other people block the thing. You know, see we are step on a corner where irritate somebody's feeling, you know. So they are good signs, you know what I mean? They're not negative, they're good signs. Because when you do rubbish, then boost you. See? So when you do something that good and it hurt somebody, then them try for prohibit you and frustrate you. You see? So me and principle, we need to go independent. We work on that, you see? Yeah, we work on that. Because you see, when you're independent, you can't do anything. And it's not anything we want to do. You see what I mean? Because we have with pride and with dignity. You understand? Ours as a family and ours as a people. See? So we work on the independent perspective of the whole thing, because so we stand. You know what I mean? But we just Jim Screechy in, because we're new to the scene. You understand? Yeah, in terms of the talkative thing used in the media. So Malik Al-Shabazz, you know, reflection. You see? Reflection. Every word put in its right place at the right time. And we haven't followed up. And every word is in the right place. And at this time, we should follow up. We should make advancements. We have to use our intellectual capacity, our ability. We must never allow people, no matter how them antagonize and start raging and snorting like a bull. We must never be the victims of that, you know. They are said that we are less than human, them see we are savages, and them treat we, and then react to us like we are animal. No. Why me use the term animal? You can irritate animals unknowingly, thinking that you're friending them up, but you're annoying them. See? You're annoying them. Just go to the zoo. I remember when you ever went to a zoo, if you ever did, and look upon the animal them. They're not happy. They're withdrawn. They're in a different setting, as in a country, and then they're locked away. They're caged away. They're fenced up. And some of them, there's notices they're telling you to play with them, you know? And there's some notices telling you straight away, do not irritate them. So you got two things. Anyone who's been to a zoo and care to read the instructions. So these people, them do the same thing to us. Because that's how them categorize us in the first instance. So when them touch we emotion and we flip, that is precisely what their intention has been. Because they do not want to have intellectual exchange with us. Why say that? Because we are naturally, I'm not going to use the word spiritually, we're natural spiritual people. We're God-fearing people. We're rational. We're highly rational. We're highly moral people. So for them, that's touching too much nerves. That's touching the very soul of their being. And they do not appreciate it. They do not appreciate it. So they were always told, they were trained and instructed to irritate us. And when them find say that we do not respond, what you've just seen, those of you who have age, you know, and you have the experience, what you have seen is what they do. Because they can't cope. They need a reason to react. And when we don't give them that reason, then they go into a devilish behavior. And that one just got exposed. Maybe not for the first time, but because everyone is under pandemic, I keep saying it, and we're all in the same space. No one was rushing around. We're all in the same space. And everyone, all around the world and different places around the world, outside of America, was able to see it. And it touched their souls. It never touched their emotion because somebody had drilled it up and said, see all the people I'm still. No, this is natural. And we must thank the Almighty, and we must thank those individuals who videoed the thing and knew what they would do to do with it. And as the young people would say, it went viral. It got platinum. It got Grammy award, Oscar award, everything. But the main point I'm making, it touched the souls of human beings. The world hears and heard from Martin Luther King. Them heard from Stokely Carmichael. Them heard from Elijah Muhammad. Them heard from Malik El-Shabazz, Malcolm X. They've heard over and over and over and over again. And in this 21st century, they have seen, but them seen a sporadic thing here and there, and then the news diffuse it and so forth and so forth. But this time, through this pandemic and through the grace of God Almighty, and those young persons, those people who put the thing out there, human beings, which we all part of the human family on this earth, they were all able to witness with them own faculties, their eyes, and it didn't stand good with their soul. So you spiritualists out there, stop wipe up the thing that's a black thing. It's a human thing, spirituality. Everyone have them specialities, and everyone have them way of working it. You understand? Stop looking for this exclusive. Because you will link people. We are special, they are special, everyone is special, but you have some that don't want to be part. So we should have been fishing them out. And that's what I intend to do right now. So, we have been there before. Our parents, our grandparents, because we are the children of the slaves, they've been there. They've been roasted. They've been sliced it up. The women who were pregnant, they were bet on them. And then they were sliced their stomachs and take that fetus out of there. And there would be so much brutality in the witnesses of the other people. They would have raffles and burning me. They would slice off my testicles and my penis. Rip my arms off and still roast me. They enjoyed themselves through brutality. And watch me. So what is changed in the modern day? Watch them. They seem to get on a higher buzz, just vilifying, squeezing, beating, flinging black people about. They seem to get on a high. When Imran Khan made it known to the Metropolitan Institution that there was institutionalized racism, there was racism embedded in the service, they didn't scream to say no. What you got was that we have got some bad apples. But the majority of our officers, our service is good. What they were really saying is, how dare you? And this is the same conversations that the Americans are doing now. And the big men are getting very irritable. No one is saying how they're going to weed out and what descriptions they need to change to recruit people who are of good character, good morals, and respectful human beings, knowing that they're upholding the rights of society and empowering the society to respect what is justice and law. That's the duty. But what some people are not saying that I'm not witnessing, one to the humane dignity. Those things don't happen to Caucasians. It happens just to black people. You heard Malachi Shabazz says, when the European come to America, them get rights and dignity. The black man and the woman do not get that. But yet still, they were the servants, they were the workers, they were the slave. And they were bought there in bondage. So when you just but think of that, where do the African belong? And what is the right of the African in other lands? And why do we spend all our time trying to make our people love and respect us and regard us? Because respect means highly regarded. And if the source of justice and law for our society, which is a high institution backed by the courts, does not give us that, and which is the highest, everything after that is mafia, is rogues. So if the state institution of law and justice to make society level, which we all should be all a part of, and defender of right over wrong, is ill-treating and killing us, what say you all? Now, the legislations of England, America, all these places don't take those things into account, because these are moral and ethical values. These are the very foundation and the nature of mankind, human beings. They don't take those things into account or consideration when it's us. Let me spill something else. In the mid-60s, 66, you know, they win the World Cup here, 67, 68. There used to be a whole heap of football agony. Football riot, football fighting, football terrorism. And the police used to get battered as well. And the police ring fence some stadiums. But the troubles, the partisan continue. And some areas were rougher than rough. Till eventually, they bought the horses out. Then, they bought shields out. Then bring water, horse, shields, and batons. A whole heap of thing went on. The picture I'm painting to you, that wasn't us. That was just them. and the love of football and the dislike of another group of people who support another team, and they can't wait for that match. And that's how they dealt with the aggression and so on. But you know, until Hillsborough came, there was no death. Hillsborough, there was a stampede. And the police got their duties mixed up. The level of communication between them wasn't good. One said let them through here, next one said stop them from there, and next that one said go back there and everything, and the people them decide to take matters in their own hands. And one that was trying to go in and one was trying to go out, and the stampede, a lot of people got trampled on, and there were loss of lives. And that inquiry it's just come to some form of conclusion. This is a lot of years. And this is football. And then seats were put in. A lot of investigation, thoughts, considerations, structures, restructure, and so forth took place. And we who here in England, we witnessed all that. Enough changes was applied. And hours put on pubs for the alcohol intake. So there weren't a lot of rowdy with the intoxications. Lots of things. And this was all over Europe as well, not just here. We were not party of none of these things. So they became civil. Few districts, they can't help if their team is so weak, they get angry. They look at each other. They have a little sprat. And they behave. No fisticuff, just a little spat. Now in recent years, that wasn't good enough. So the attention now came on us. Now the attention in the football grounds before, they call us gollywogs, the racial abuse, the racial chants. All these things happen. Even some grounds where we weren't even in attendance. In those districts, those areas, they made it known that they don't regard us at all. So they chanted all these different things that became popular around England. Around England, not London, England. When them particular team and them particular fans got there, I saw them chant certain things throughout the match and after the match. Who did anything? Who did anything? Our race relation committee highlighted all of these things. Pray, ask us. How did you detect that? What make you call that racism? Please, explain to us. Can you give us a valid report where you can concisely tell us and present how you detect that this, what you're saying, is racist? We had to do all that rubbish. And when we did, which we shouldn't have done, because my generation didn't like all of that. But we were too small. But our elders played along with them and told them, these are the words they're using, these are the things they're saying. So they said, okay, we will address these issues. Leave it with us in the FA. And that was that. That's how these things work. And throughout the years, that's how they responded to us. How do you know this? What makes you say such a thing? Have you got any proof and any evidence, substantial evidence for the accusation? These are very strong words you're using. These are actually accusations. Do you understand the term accusation? And we are now, you can see our elders, some of them trembling. And we intervene. And so we can't stand this nonsense. What is a gollywog? You explain to us. What is a chimpanzee and a monkey? Please explain to us. What is banana peel and nuts have to do with us? What is all these slurs have to do? You tell us. We've learnt these things from you, so you tell us. Now that changed things quite a bit. But they told our elders that they need to control these young people. These young people, they're going to college. We can see that they're going to school and they are learning the language. But their tolerance is something that we will not. See? So, these type of race relation meetings now were left out. The elders couldn't take the chance of having us in attendance. Because we use the knowledge, the information that we're getting from school, college, and university. And we are responding in kind. We can even speak like them, some of them. We were able to. But they weren't about to tolerate us. So that became very frustrating for us. What changed? Nothing. Nothing. That same race relation committee was hijacked by gays and lesbians and others for their own purposes. But before they came, the Ashkenazis, the Jewish community in England, in London, particularly London, hijacked it. They got benefits from it. We got nothing. Then they started to give us pittance, put money on the table to our elders to say that you can use these to help your community. And we say no. Wallah. Wallahi, I swear. We said no. Them now buy we out. Now, some of our elders thought that since we weren't bargaining for any financial support in anything, and they're willfully just gonna give us, we'll be damn fools to reject it. So some of them took this money. Now this money was supposed to help us, black people, Caribbean people, across London, to do something in relation to racism. We didn't set up no goddamn institution for that, with that money. The Jewish people, they did. Them set up office. Them employed researchers. Them have administration, outreach workers, they went into all institutions and vet every place. They sit on panels changing adding and subtracting from job descriptions, etc., etc. We didn't do none of that. When that happened, it's when Trevor Carter, and then Trevor Phillips come. But then them frustrate both of them. And Trevor Phillips was the last one that got grossly frustrated. No help, no support. And he just went off in the wilderness. The racial chants and the racism continued. It wasn't highlighted anymore, but here comes the tragedy. And many other tragedies. We had a whole heap of deaths in police custody. Whole heap of them. A lot of flimsy report. But here comes Stephen Lawrence. And all the saga and all the history of race relation came up. But we didn't have no representative. What the reports showed, that these are the things that they provided for us. It is not our fault, it's your fault. You did not support yourselves. We made these things for you. That was a crying shame because it was true. It wasn't false, it was true. We didn't do nothing with it. We let two bodies came and manipulated us and got the benefit from race relation. We didn't get none because we didn't stay the course and we didn't transition. We did not transition from 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. We didn't transition. Then when things got really bad, 75, 76, 77, sus and everything, we were found wanting. These are facts. I lived this. I was training too. What's this to do? It's to say that the man hasn't changed and we haven't developed. You hear that? He hasn't changed and we have not developed. But yet still now, we're going to let some people come and roll up our young people to get them to have a standoff with them concerning structures and statues in this country. But where the legal transformation, where the areas that change things in institution and in law, we're not working with that. You think hooliganistic attitudes and behavior is going to change anything? You think having a couple of bloody nose, bust heads, and rip down some metal is going to change anything? And a lot of people going to jail. A lot of people perhaps lose their income support, job seekers, lose their tenancy. It's going to change anything? I tell you, think twice before you answer. Think carefully and learn to have strategies. Toussaint Overthrow was a strategist. A strategist. Not a damn idiotic warrior, even though he was a warrior. But with no strategy, not a damn thing would have been accomplished. Shaka was a strategist. You understand me? All we're doing is representing human dignity and pride of ourselves. We shouldn't be brawling. We shouldn't be succumb to idiotic tendencies of our people that's all they ever knew. Read British history, read European history. Them just fight one another. Them just dog up one another all the while. Brr, all the time. Yes. And you see this Islam that some of you screw up on the face and want to spit pon and piss pon? A true the Prophet of Islam, moral understanding and ethical principles, and calm down tribes by accepting the hand of one of that tribe's daughters, or give one of him tribesmen in hand to another tribe. Yes, integrate. Then the British pick it up. Then the French pick it up. And them give the top of the top in marriage, offer them in marriage to each other. Many rejected, but if you read their history, you see that they accepted. Many did, many rejected, but they still go back and look for the prime stock, and put it before them. And it healed some of the wounds. Them still don't like each other, but it healed some of the wounds. And you know, two cocks and a cocker spaniel and so forth. You know, one taste the thing and them decide for say woo, and that other one over there say woo, right? So couple seasons from then, they become more acquainted. They might look for different things now, both of them. And them take down the armed fort, the armory. Them stop being so hostile. And them start for reason. Yes, this is European history. This is what the Prophet of Islam, what they depicted of Muhammad, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, strategies, and employ it. Then some of them become so hideous, then wipe out some kings, monarchs, like what them do to the Tsar in Russia. So it went on and on and on till you got the First World War. You know? Yes. And it went on and on and on till you get the second one too. And each time they learned something, you know. They learned something. They were so prejudiced against one another, but they learned something. They killed hundreds of thousands, millions of one another. Who the hell are we? We are fodder. Relax with yourself here. All of what I'm saying and all of what you all are planning or thinking or responding to, it is our elders' fault. Not educating, not setting up institutions or learning to educate us. Because if you not have information, you cannot be strategic in whatever actions or plan one is going to take. Blind can't lead blind, but emotions are lead emotion. And you think, see, you're at home. Don't be stupid. This is not your home, and you're not on home turf. You don't have no advantage. It's pure disadvantage. Some of the arse out there is saying, you know what best I say? I'm a chicken. I'm soft. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm a chicken. Quack, quack, quack. I'm soft. Oops. And you're tough. You're tough. See? I pray to God that nothing happened to you You don't get arrested, so I have to come and try find out where you're there, any of you, and visit Uno. And then put some legal things together to help Uno. Serious. I'm good at that part. Because I'm not tough. I'm Southeast Pac-Man and chicken. And you all are Darth Vader and all them things there. And you know what I mean? When I have the skills of the Black Panther. What they call the thing? The cartoon thing that just come up the other day? The Black Panther. Use that strategy, you damn asses. Use it. Use that. And be victorious against whoever you go try to be victorious against. I'm telling you, leave the people alone. Make them go and do what them do. And make we stay where we there and strategize. This is the time that you call out, we call out our elders, our most experienced people, and make them rotted come and do something now. And if them not do something, we do them. We not deal with the Caucasian them. We must put some lashes in our own people's ass for not helping. Knowing the good wicked. But all them are do is wait for the cricketers to come. Nah, them know the wicked, rotted, deal with it. Why them are going to let one of this run round like a bunch of foolish ass terrorists and everything, and I talk about rip down this and rip down that and so forth, and them steer them ass yard. And you like don't know why you're getting aggravated. Why? Seriously. Why? Why are you getting aggravated? Why when Stephen Lawrence had this problem, the family was going through this thing, why when in a snort like that and decide London is on strike? Come on. The biggest ever demonstration we had was for the New Cross massacre. Everybody come from Scotland, everywhere. We came. We assembled in London. They were afraid of us. But then, them pulled the plug from the majority of our projects. Because they weren't about to let that happen again. And that's what they're about. They don't want us to just not network. They don't want us to be one voice, one body. And that's what I'm saying. This is not the time to splint up and rush off and do idiotic things. This is the time to get ourselves together and develop trust, harmony, and work with a voice. We're against evil. We're against badness. We're against this racism. And we want an opportunity for our children, them to prosper. And we want exit. We don't want to go up there. So if you, hey, for argument's sake, let's say we want to go up there now and we have a big standoff and and everything. What has been accomplished? Oh, you look at that man's face, you still... Nothing's been accomplished. And you know what's going to happen? Our children is going to get the blunt of this shit. Our children is going to be traumatized by the law enforcement. Who's going to stop them now? Come on. Our children are going to be a victim of society. And it's going to become intensified. Remember the man said, the mayor said, and the Home Office officer said, they want a holistic, and we say, why you use that word? What are you saying? And them turn up the heat and stop and search. And the people that want, most of the police chief them, they want to be armed. They want to be armed. And you know anyhow them get armed, we go get killed. We will get killed, black people. And I'm not thinking, man. They will quickly have that legislation out there. It ready, you know? And they would just say, yes, boom. And then here what now? Every time you put your hand in your pocket now, take out your phone and everything. Them say, we think say he was pulling out an arm or something. How much are we going to get that happen? And what? No justice. So he said, no justice, no peace. Come on, please. We need to relax our emotion. And pastors, I tell you, only need to step up and tell our people, you know, organize our people, man. Put some sensibility out there in the air. And then let us have a unilateral prayer. Muslim, black Muslims, Christian, everybody. So that we have peace, harmony, and look for moral solutions. And make the Queen understand that we are not happy. Period. We should do all these things. Forget goddamn Boris. Listen, we have some bunks in we stride right now, because the whole world recognize what just took place. If we let idiotic people them come and do things, you know what happen? It's gonna be like, that's how we told you. That's how they are. Savages. Stop it, man. We're important. We're important people. We are important people. It's how you value ourselves. It's how we value ourselves. If emotions gonna make us to be so dark-ass stupid, then you're not been learning anything. And those who hype you up, make them be the leader. Make them be the first ones. Make them be in the front. And then you see, I just win. Gas. Make them who I tell you, yeah, let me go there. Make them be the front runners. Not the one that stand behind and say nothing. Not the one that stay on Skype and Zoom and say something. Make them be the first ones. Make them be the leading body. And once them do that, and you don't see them run away, then you can say, yeah, make them. You're not going to get one of them rotted up the front. Me not talk about the big bad boy. Me talk about the one that sensitized on the emotion for do this thing, make them be at the front. Make them throw the first or the second punch, or the first or second kick. Make them, or the first string to pull whatever it is down. Make them. And you're going to find that none of them be there to rot it. May I tell you, pure gas, hot here, want to be important, want to be seem to be important. And take our prime stock, which is you all, and turn you into fodder. And then full up the prison them and the hospital. Come on. We're more sensible, man, than all that. A lot of football things happen with Arsenal when Ian Wright and them man they used to play, even before Ian Wright them. And we as black people, we stand on the side and watch them people go on with them thing. We never get turned up and say, let me just go there and throw two kick and throw two pot. No, we stay at the side and watch them. Watch them. We never get dazzled and dizzy. We just watch them. You understand? If Michael Watson could have come and verbally tell you, we all stood together and watch. Never go there and throw two kick and two punch and two headbutt. What for? We know what was going on. And nothing to do with we. Arsenal won. Millwall or whoever it is, Tottenham, whoever it is, them are going bad and everything. Them not touch we. So we watch. And then we go our yard. I will go with local center and say, right, look how them people them going. Eh? Jumping about like chicken. Woof, 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 and everything. Mess up the place. This is years, man. This is years. We know what East London was like. So, we not go up West Ham. We just leave them. We go up there. They have every right to battle with. Because we be outnumbered. So, we let them boy they go play by themselves. At least them a play for the team. We not playing for the team. We just want to watch. You understand? What you going to say? Oh, he's a wanker. Are you mad? 20,000 East Londoners. What? And no more than about 30 or 40 man from Fensley Park. And Arsenal don't even like we, Tarated. Is our brethren them a play. And we want to know and feel so that we support them and them do good. But we know say go West Ham, go East London, you mad? Nobody was a wanker, we was a sensible. You understand what that means? Sensible. We're fully outnumbered, we'll get our ass battered. You know what I mean? Not beaten, battered. So we keep our ass home. In a Fui area. And play with football and we park. And we have a little radio. And we hear Paul Davis a control this and then them score, we say, yeah man, go on. Right? But we there we area, safe. Man them win and come home. You understand? We got 1-2 spliff and say, yeah man. Yeah, so how did it go? Oh, I broke that one, this one, broke that one. And him start see a black bastard. And every time he do that, broke him again, boy. I tell you, him split here and split there and everything. You understand? They were sensible people, star. I tell you. But when they come down for our side now the numbers are there. That was white and black. We're still 20. You understand? But we not look trouble. And the trouble we are looking at. We go cricket, England, and everything. And they behave like gentlemen, you know. Yeah, old boy. You know that. You understand? And if the West Indies put lashes upon them, they said, these fucking bastards, these goddamn niggas. You hear them? But we are laugh. Because we're up. We're up. We're going good. When I start fight, and when I respond to them, we see them fuming. We see them fuming. And when our boys them come back up from lunch and them start pack 2 punch and lick this ball, we say, yeah boy, go on boy. You understand? You must learn something, man. All of you. You must learn something. High regards for respect. Now, we respect ourselves. Them don't have respect for us. So you must know what respect mean. That's why our children them out there, them tell one another, say, this one disrespect him. And they don't know what the ass he's talking about, what respect mean. Don't have no guidance, no training, right? No social etiquette or anything. Huh? Just leave him to the wolf packs. Right? Who's the wolf packs? The people that don't look like us. So them adapt their behavior, right? And that's what some of you lot who wants to go and have a brawl with these guys, that's how you're behaving. You're behaving like the same man them. That's why me give the whole thing about the football, me give the whole thing about race relation, me give the whole thing about Europe, so you can't miss none of it. Because that's not us. That's not our parents. That's not us at all. At home, abroad, anyway, that's not us. We don't do this thing. We don't behave that way. And we can fight. We can defend ourselves. But we don't have to be stupid to show somebody that we are capable of doing that. We have to show people that we have sense. You understand? And the day that you think so you can corner we is the day that you get dropped. You will get dropped. My principle is this. When that would happen, is God is with us as well as man. But the wisest of us will be ready for the law. I'm telling you. So we won't come out not being effective. I wouldn't say winning, not being effective. Huh? You go the other way, you don't, it's not beneficial. No. It's not even like a gang, a mobster. Nah, come on, man. Come on. Respect in the Bible is to recognize people and regard them of high esteem, show worth. The people I have no respect for it. There's a video go around on WhatsApp with about 5 police them with a young boy. Young black boy. Huh? No respect. There's a video go around with a girl. The man bust her up. Bust her up badly. A big man must be about 16 stone. Huh? Little scrawny girl. The thing that we need to be saying to these people, why do you present yourselves like that to black people? How is it that when you go to your own people, you don't put your hand on them? Why is it when you go to black people, you put your hand on us? Why are you always physically grievous body harms and everything you're inflicting upon us? And then when you get us into the place and we can't even move with hand or with foot or with head and talk, on a charge we also for grievous with body harm. Jesus, peace, man. Right? And then you go to the court and the judge charge us amongst with every other thing plus grievous with body harm. And we still can't talk because we might mash up and everything. And him can see that we look like we went 15 rounds with Bruno or somebody. Come on, man. Seriously. So I'll give you the scripture. Just tell you straight away that, the judgment is the worth of a person. You recognize them of high regard, high esteem, right? Recognize them and recognize that they're subject of God, just like yourself. So you honor them. You have high regard for them as human being. Okay. The definition from Oxford and Cambridge, and the general law of this country, constitutional law, you must demonstrate high regard for another person. You must demonstrate. Who's this you must? Officers. People of high esteem. Who are these people? People who work for the system. People who work for statutory or statutory employed. Government people, legislators, etc. They must do that. They must do that. They must have a thing called courtesy, common courtesy in society, high standard. They must have that. They do not display these things to us when it comes to us. They disregard all of those when it comes to us. Why is that? Then they reduce us as non-subjects and they reduce us as non-full human beings. That's it. 2 things, 2 principles. So in that is violation of our humanity and our human rights. You understand? And our civilian rights in the country that we're in, which is this one. And likewise over there in America. Right? So these are the breaches that they constantly commit. What do they charge us with? Intolerance. Intolerance. Now it's stipulated that they're the ones who have to represent society. So whether any individual is classified intolerant or not, they have the right to demonstrate high regard of respect towards those individuals, because they are representing justice and law. They're not to be violating justice and law. Do we know that? All other ethnic groups in this country knows that and adhere to that. And that's how they respond to police officers if they decide to put them hand upon them or talk to them a particular way, right? What's wrong with us? I know that sometimes we try to, use this, but then them do this and them do that. Huh? You know what? If we did apply these things and then go to the court with our wicket, and refuse to lose, not go there and compromise, refuse to lose, changes would have happened, right? But since all we do is brawl and yawl and then finish up at the police station, even get nicked and everything else, and then compromise with the people, them, nothing happens, nothing changes. Because you don't develop a wicket. No wicket, no stability, no longevity, no legality, no use of intelligence. Not all of us, but the best of us in our society, in our communities, our areas that knows the thing and represent us as a people. We don't do that. We don't do that. And we compromise. So if you keep compromising and everything else, how are you going to get regarded? You're not going to get regarded. And plus, everything I just read, a very few people know that. And our ambassadors who know that inside out, upside down, every which way around, ain't helping us. So those of you who thought I was barking, because maybe I fancy the ambassador daughter and I didn't get her, or maybe the ambassador let me down, forget that backside. They're not helping nobody. I don't need them to get his daughter or his wife or something. No, I need him to help us in totality. Yes, not him or her, our ambassadors that failed to recognize us and failed to help us. But some of you, you get your little orgasm, little trips, little bit of rum and blah, 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 saying that you're going to independence celebration. Now look at you. Look at us. We are celebrating now. They left before this pandemic and gone home. All the islands that them come from, them gone. Didn't notify you that something was up, brewing. You see? But yet still you're saying that I'm barking up the wrong tree. Which tree? At least you can recognize I'm probably still able to climb a tree. So I give you that. Thanks, Jack. And I don't need your jacket, but thanks. All the same. You understand? So, when them come back, I should have a meeting with them as a collective and say, here, what? Are you really with us or are you against us? Because these are the things that we need you to do. These are the things that you should have done when you run off, and these are things that you need to do while you're here. Not you in the office, you piss off. And that's where you're supposed to vet all your energy and anger, tolerance and intolerance in the front of the face of the people that belong to us, that meant to represent us. I got to deal with some villains and expect change. That not sound sensible to me. I tell you, I'm a lay person, boy. I tell you, I'm glad that I have my mother, you know. My mother sensible narrated. God bless her. You understand? Now, freedom of expression is what respect, how one should be respected. So them have freedom of expression. When does the police allow we to express ourselves and our children? They don't. Them try to quarantine us and try to entrap us and everything, because them respond to us like our expressions is alien to them. So when them go to court now, them start telling people that we were using our hands and we were loud and we were foul and we're using aggressive language and so forth and so forth. So now we're demonized as less than human, immoral, and so forth. Demonized. What have we done about those things in 76 years? Right? When a Chinese now decide not to speak in English, are they not demonizing or ridiculing the officers? When the Asian do but the same. The only thing is, we can't do that. We cannot do that. We're still there going, all right, mate, you know, perhaps we've got off on the wrong foot, yeah? You're a bit high and everything else, and you riled me up. So what can I do for you, officer? I mean, I ain't got nothing in my pocket but money and my keys. So why are you detaining me here? What's all the aggravation for? We ain't got no other language. When these people do all of that, and then them come off with a thing to the people, them, we can't speak the language. Everything done right there. And they haven't laid a hand, a toe, a pencil on them, you know. They haven't touched them. We ratted. Them a look for handcuff, them a look for spray, them a look for taser. The next group that come now jump steaming like a rugby tackle. Hey, but the other people, nah. So we don't have freedom of expression. But we take that expression for dance and play and athletics. Damn fools. See what I mean? We disrespect ourselves all the time. Huh? Yeah. Then when we got carnival, they see our women rubbing up them batty in a police and take for him hat off and put on them head and everything, and then put him hat on them breasts for him now for come take it and say that they might have fun with the ass man. The man they see as a savage, but you're having your kicks, it's supposed to be joyful. Nonsense. It's not working, and it hasn't worked, and it will not work. We lower our standards all the time to get people to have a grin with us. That ain't changing nothing. Eh? The alleged Jews, the Asians, every other nationality in this country, the Turkish and the Greek, they don't do them type of stupidness. They don't do that type of stupidness. You understand? We Muslims, we invite them to we must. And let them see what we do. Make them see what we do. Them take off them backside shoe like everybody else. If they come, we have open evenings and so forth every quarter to have good relationship within the community and develop community cohesion. We was doing that in Black House long time before Islam come into my jurisdiction. This is what how we were educated. As much as we know that the people them dislike we, our bigger man them, bigger people them said, this is what needs to be happening. So them come there and them see we do it. We are doing our arithmetic. We are doing we're doing our history. And we are reciting, reading books when them come. Some of us. And when them have social discussion, whoa, we ram it on them. And then when them leave, we give them some documents of all the things that them do that makes us not feel comfortable. Yes, in our area. And let them know at the end, we will hold them to account because we're not going to forget. It's documented. Yes. I saw we was raised. And every time them change a commander, we get to know who the new one is. That was part and parcel of our duties. And the people them who are work with the Black House and all the other centers. So transitioning needs to be upheld. You need to know who have come in, where them come from and everything. Sometimes you get a person come from our Newcastle to Ratted, rough. They don't know nothing about London, but them just rough and arrogant. You understand? So all these things, and now with Islam, we know all of them. The CID, the Home Office, individuals that always vet in the communities, and the local commander-in-chief and so forth. Deputy, administration, everything. Serious thing. And I'm on a panel, myself here talking. It's not about like and dislike. It's about justice. It's not about informing. It's about justice, social justice. And everything that goes smooth doesn't. But once them know that we know how to wield the tool of law as well, we're getting somewhere. We do get somewhere. Because we have a team of legal-minded people, not people that have social legal understanding, lay people, professional people that will counsel us, and we inform where we're having some difficulties when we come to discuss our present certain things to, and there's certain things happening in the area that we need their assistance. Because sometimes they help create certain vices to keep themselves up there, you know. So you got to know them things too. So community cohesion become a new word. See, and old folk like me, this is not new. So we know how to apply it. We don't need other people to indoctrinate our minds and twist and turn us to play their game or play games with them. We're about being progressive. All we suffer from in my area, my community, is that we don't have adequate resources or facilities to resource our young people. Our young people are in thousands. So we just need adequate facilities. We have facilities, but adequate facilities, lots of facilities, right? So we work with the councils to be able to use their leisure spaces for young men and our young women, particularly our women. Now, all of these things we should be doing. And since the sound man then run to Europe, the street is filled with their children not having no direction, and then big old man like me that I hustle, I recruit them, and other people that don't look like us, I've turned them into mules and dispose of them when they feel, that's it. The law knows that. You think them care shit when them just find them pure black bodies about the place? But when them ready, them say, you're killing each other. So, respect. Respect. The Caribbean, them open up the place. Open up the place now. Them fetish people, them tired staying in them yard. Them want to go see our women, and they want to go stretch themselves, and they want to go and breathe some clean air and jump in the sea. They want some organic, clean, fresh food. Yes, so them ready to travel to the Caribbean, because the Caribbean islands are open up. See? Now, let me and you now decide things open up now, where get out violation, complications, and so forth and so forth. See? I tell you, man, hypocrisy in this democracy. You see? Okay. I have something I'm going to put up, and it's going to shock many of you, and many of you have seen it. It's sideways, but you can see it, because we have to deal with political correctness and these things. Cause, hey, even though some of these things, right, different ones are put on Facebook, and different ones that peoples, I wouldn't say ones meaning us, peoples have put on Facebook and YouTube and Twitters and what have you. So them there in the public eye. So now me use Bob Marley the other night on Tuesday. I don't know if it's Bob. I may follow Bob and say you're bomber. But nevertheless, nevertheless, I don't know say if it's Muta, because me I say, where you belong, right? The people them stop that program worldwide. When them block something, and it's because of our music, it's indicated what music it is. So this one never have nothing like that. So we don't know say if it is which country you belong. I don't know say if it's Bob. I don't know say if it's our young brother from the 60s, that when him talk, it come like it's today. Because he said, you're not people of your word. And why are you afraid of us? And him through the art of what a psychologist would understand, and how the European man, them, the Caucasian, is always dangling the bread, the money, or the carrot in our face. And he said that I'm hungry, and you've got a loaf of bread, and I've asked you for a slice, and you still refuse to give me. Every psychologist knows what the outcome would be. I'll bust your head, hit you around the head, and take a slice. They used to do that to us in Islington. They used to do that to the elders in Islington. Frustrate them, dangle things with them, give them false hope and promises. But at least they were able to tell us that these bribes is what you're going to grow up with. You must never succumb to them. Strive for togetherness. Strive to be independent. Strive to have your own. But first, you have to try and get one of their premises. Get it ring fenced. Get it on a peppercorn rent. And then work hard to try and own it. Control the lease. Try and own the property. Then you have something. I don't forget them little things. But some of you know what they did to Michael. Some of you know how them did to Brother Herman. But it's age that took Herman, Brother Sam, and Brother Oscar, and Courtney Tallock. And that them runway or nothing like that. It's age, death, and so forth. Like Rudy Narayan, you see, Lord Pitt, it's age that took them. What we weren't able to do, and we're guilty of that, is consolidate and strengthen the generation after us. And now we will be their lords, adults, elders. Hopefully, the Almighty will bless us with some wisdom. Truly, we have some understanding, but we would have had something to offer them, even if it's just to teach them how to be patient, how to exemplify courtesy among ourselves, common courtesy, how to portray and project dignity, love, and harmony among our women, how to teach their children and raise them well, how to be honest and how to use their finances, how to honor our families who came here and got themselves together and exemplify trust develop partners, raise money to send home for their families, and keep their families through the hardship of England. And it's 2 and 3 feet of snow, and it's thick fog, and it's abuse. It's abuse. There were victims, and the abuse. In some places, 6 persons in one room. Sometimes 3 of them are work, and the other 3 ain't got none. Sometimes 2 are work, but all of them are get food. And the others that can't find a job, they're not pretending. Them a walk street every God-given day trying to get something. Or so we survived. Many of us survived in this place called England. I'm old, but I'm still seasoned. And many of you out there, you're in your stride. You're the young Muhammad Alis, you're the young bucks. You just need guidance. You need tolerance. You need patience. And you need to be able to speak to each other. Not use British language. Use ours. Speak cordially to each other. Listen, develop common courtesy principles to speak and reason. See, when I done the Rasta place for Goto, and reason, learn about reasoning. Because in reasoning, you strategize. You strategize, man. There's a for, and there's those who's against, and those who oppose, and those who are not sure. But you still reason it out. And there's the pessimist. And even then, the pessimist could be on a right thing, but you reason it out. And then the pessimist become an optimist, or maybe the optimist realize, you know what, this is not the right time. And the way we're about approaching it is probably not right. So we all help each other. I don't like spending too much time with the pessimists, but nevertheless, you need to hear them, because maybe what they say, when you digest, because if you don't hear them, well, how you know they're pessimists? You need to hear them. Reason it out. But if they're going to take up the days and the weeks, nah, you have to have a limit. I tell you, not you just be there, talk shop. And that's where my training, I like it. You understand? And women, you can't have a structure without woman. You cannot have a structure without woman. Some man, them too rowdy. A woman, calm down the situation, take the heat out of the thing, mellow it. You understand? And sometimes, most time, what we are not seeing, that female is seeing and feeling. See, you need that balance. Without that balance, you understand? She's not a sexual object. She's a leader. She's an advisor. She's a balancer. We need them. Very much so. Sometimes men are too hostile, too arrogant, too hot, have too much temper. And then you got another man that like himself too much. Him bigger, badder, not badder, him more eloquent, he's a top class guy. He wants everybody to recognize that, and him have skills. He have skills. We want everyone to beg him and acknowledge him. We have them. We have them in numbers. You have to just clip them wings. See? You just have to say to him, listen, if you have an institution, fine. Since you do not have one, you're a lay preacher. just like me. You understand? Whether you went to Cambridge or Oxford or Eden, you're just like me. So relax yourself. That's it. Don't tell him to piss off. You know what I mean? Just relax yourself, man. See? Yeah, we have them. We have them. You understand? We have them. Them have the ability, but them work with quality, you know? So, and you have to keep them, watch them carefully. Their eyes will always be on our women. Cause problem. Cause problem. And then it's the first one to tell you, say, my wife, like me. You understand? And them eyes on some woman there. Yet still he's there for a purpose. So we have all of that. But when we're together, we can iron those things out. Well, once we're together. You understand? That's why I'm saying this time here, it's all about trust. Developing trust. And not following new fandangos. I'm not one of the Black Lives that matters. I'm not one of that. I'm not one of that. Seriously. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made man and woman and women. You see? Yes. I'm a love woman. Woo! Too much. You understand? Yes. So, that's enough of that. You understand? And great achievements come in balance. You see? Okay. And people must feel comfortable in themselves. You see what I mean? So, I got to deal with something else. Yeah, what I was saying is the people that block the thing, them just lock me off. You see? Them show the thing that it is blocked worldwide. You see? So if it is Muta, them don't want that reminded of where you belong. Because I'm telling you, we don't belong nowhere, no. We don't belong in Africa. Anybody want falsifies this idea that because I'm born in England, right, you're not getting respect from the Englishman, from the English government, from the English institution, and you should know that by now. You understand? And that's it. So I deliberately sought Muta for that. You understand me? And the young brother from the 60s to show how we were educated back then. Because some of the people them that me holler and scream at, they want to tell me that our teacher them were hustlers and rare, right? But them could not be anything without them. See? There couldn't be anything without their libraries and without their guidance and their tuition. So I don't know why them say that there was derogatory things concerning those people. See? And I'm waiting, God willing, to meet face to face with several of them, and let them tell an audience precisely why they have told the press, why they've told different peoples around the world, America, Jamaica, and so forth, make those remarks. You understand? Why? And those people never asked them, where did they get their training? Right? How did they get to accomplish? Where did they get all the texts that they were able to read in the United Kingdom? Right? When we brought them here, right? We brought all these things into England. And we had a library. And those people left Brixton and Clapham, right? And never leave. Day after day. Sometimes they spend a whole last week and them sleep in Black House. Yeah? And two of them became the librarians of what we had. You never should bite the hand that feeds you. I'm telling you. And I'm not going to let them, unless God take me, I'm not going to let them leave this life knowing that I want them to apologize to the peoples of Islington for them stupid-ass remarks that they have made. Them stupid-ass remarks that they've made. They had no right to do that. in that life and in this life. None whatsoever. And that's what caused the divide between us as peoples. We don't give each other credit for nothing. But we go to the white man and kiss his ass and he kick you in your goddamn face and you continue to kick his ass. Because you've learned it from him. And you continue to do that. And I'm not taking it from you. You need to apologize to Islington. All the black people of Islington, even the ones that pass. You need to apologize to us. And me, Bess, I said that. And God truth. Me now, if God is the only way me stop is if God take me out. And if I find say that them tell me say me have a critical illness, I get all my family to round when we're up to Rotted and bring one at one spot. Huh? You understand? Because if when I don't apologize, dear, me leave the earth in death with one in my soul, you never live good. I tell you, me choke, you know. I'm telling you. Take his joke, me joking. A serious thing. So, I'm a name Bess. You know what I mean? Yeah. Serious boy. So, yeah, the people them block me, you know? Yeah, them block me. So, this one, you know, when them see the thing that me put up, when them see the thing that me put up, they might turn around and block that too, because they're going to find that very controversial and, you know, and so forth, right? So, yeah. So all this now is Imperial Majesty guidance and teaching. Listen.
It's a terrible, terrible time. Terrible time, boy. I'm uncomfortable when the youths, they must suffer. No for them must sleep tonight and don't got no...
You see the thing with me now? I'm just trying to show now. I come from a good school, good teachers, yeah? Why I'm so late, you see? I work. I've been working in the communities. I've developed so much good things out there. I mean, I blow my trumpet, you understand? So then I retire myself. I'm going to try to work a thing with some people and a sister and everything. And them all, they didn't jump ship, but them go back. One gone back to SLR, one gone to another station and everything. Because they were doing it before. You understand? So I wasn't doing that. So, you know, and right now this is like an armchair person. Right? So if I get one ear to hear and inspire them, I'm doing good, man. Just one.
It's a terrible, terrible time. Terrible time, boy. I'm uncomfortable when the youths, they must suffer. No for them must sleep tonight and don't got no supper. My man, Panaja, and gaze through the window shut up. Little where she have it can't even buy butter. Uncomfortable when the youths, they must suffer. No for them must sleep tonight and don't got no supper. My man, Panaja, and gaze through the window shut up. Protect the youths that in the butter. It's a heavy load and a ruddy road. Babylon bring all the guns and everybody knows. Creating all the war, the youths, the money now. Watch out the fire blaze and all the bombs. Think I lie when them go take a walk down there. Me no see no gun country down there. But every day a gunshot sound there. Bad man take over the town. Hey, I'm uncomfortable when the youths, they must suffer. No for them must sleep tonight and don't got no supper. My man, Panaja, and gaze through the window shutter. Little where she have it can't even buy butter. I'm uncomfortable when the youths, they must suffer. No for them must sleep tonight and don't got no supper. My man, Panaja, and gaze through the window shutter. Protect the youths and from the butter. Cause I'm the talk to me direct. You lick your Babylon, you don't have no respect. You plan to up the population and so do that. I see you tamper with the weather, you little fish. The warriors. Because I was born in the city. Light brown, cyanide king.
overstand, I am the man with the plan, with the mic in my hand, I am a musical buckler and machine, lyrics in my magazine to wipe them out clean. I'm a musical, no matter how you bad mind and criticize me, I am a musical. Strap up my boots and trample bad mind, cause I'm a musical. Light brown and cyanide in combination, London, Florida, B.I. creation, Jade, you a top boy smack day, pick up bread and moon and bread and tippy, keeping it to musical. Well I'm ready, steady, on the battlefield, yes we're ready. Creation, rebel we defending, the king's music we are defending. Need to overstand, I am the man with the plan, with the mic in my hand, I am a musical. Buckler and machine, lyrics in my magazine to wipe them out clean. I'm a musical, no matter how you bad. Couldn't better them testimony. See them a testimony. Lord, them a testimony. Yo, reducing poverty, that's their stated goal. What they demand, left us in a depot. Nations strive and borrow, can't pay back. What a big sorrow, so see them a testimony. Lord, Lord, Lord.
Right. So you see that, yeah? You see how them treat we. Everybody see that. Them just been doing it forever and ever. See? So if it's political correctness now, then we know. See? So if you don't hear we, yeah, you understand? You know, say that the system is unfair, but you don't know that already, innit?
Another move, you step in dirty Babylon shoes. Them image forget you're confused. Be aware of them made vaccination and food, cause them don't want your life to improve. Well, not another move, you step in dirty Babylon shoes. Them image forget you're confused. Be aware of them made vaccination.
You understand me? You see? So don't let people distract you because they can. No. We're wiser than that. So don't allow it. You understand? Because if you do, and then you say, we finish up saying, if we did know. If we didn't know what? We don't know. Right? But we refuse to be obedient. See? And that may I say. You understand? So people, remember who we are. You see? We're proud black people, African people. We're proud, right? And we have intelligence. We're not ignorant. Don't let no one come and just turn we fool because they can. We need to hold on to the best of ourselves, because and that we have, man. You see, so I beg you, do not fall for these people foolishness, because we will lose. Yeah, Bushman.
Tell you this, hear me out now.
Yeah, when me first come on the stations, them, you know, the other station, I want that tune there. This rhythm track, me rinse it, man. Principle, me I tell you, go on. Man. And people, some of them guys, you know, them think say, this is the part of me that me like of me, you know, I mean, I'm bossy, right? Them feel say that me just a tip a tune and we don't have nothing, you know. You idiot? Bushman.
Tell you this,
Hear me out.
Not too much tune. My brain can't work. Yo, Bushman.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Listen, people. We are teaching.
Oh God, yes. Who made the birds and the bees, sky and the sea? You and me will.
You got to ask God for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to do your research for what you believe in for. You got to invest your time, your energy, all that, so you can do what you supposed to do and excel in it. Y'all be thinking y'all waiting on God, and honey, God be waiting on you. What you waiting
Tell
on?
you
Do
this.
your part.
Hear me out now.
Man called Bushman. Listen, educational classroom. I want this one to go international.
Oh God, yes. Who made the birds and the bees,
Allah,
sky and the sea?
God Almighty.
You and me will. Who made the moon and the stars?
Almighty.
All creatures great and small.
Almighty.
Jah made them all. Yes. Till one take pride in destroying each other.
Mighty Bushman.
Living like savage every day.
After we anthem this, you know.
Ignorance in the spirit is holding us down. But what goes up, I know it must come down. Cause tribal war won't stop the problem. Only love of the heart can solve it. Hate and grudge can't stop the problem. Only love of the heart can solve it. Oh yes. Wanna make no doubt the issues affecting my people, leading them to evil. Hate and grudge, despise and dishonesty. Tell you that's not the way we wanna be. Wanna be better than when that love was down on earth. Wanna bring back the days when the hearts of men was pure. What we need is love to guide us along the road. It don't matter what they say. I know tribal war.
You can't kick him like that. You can't kick him like that. Stay back, don't interfere. You can't kick him like that.
One person, 6 Jesus, man. Bullshit. You kill him.
Mighty Bushman says, you understand me? Tribal war now stop it. And social war now stop it. Seriously. Stay at home. Defend yourself properly. Listen.
All you have to say is a cannibal. But I was going
Now see the thing is? Believe. See? Don't listen to them people up there tell you that you see all them people that them Muslims and their body. Do not just believe. You know, they lie to eat children and all that rubbish. Listen, and the next one will turn around and tell you say them have faith and everything. Listen, you want me. That man, us, and every other human being on this earth has been created by the same source. Oxygen, air, we all have to have. Food, discharging, we all have to have. So, right here and then, we equal. Huh? Because of the region of the earth to which we were fashioned, is why our change in our appearances. We have wide massive thing here in Africa. We are the first, right? So we get from the Africa. All these other people don't come off a week. Now, you know that we don't have to push up the chest, but that's the fact that they have discovered. And when you look at our region and listen to it, that's it. The species, that's us, right? Our imams and all these other people don't tell the world that. Don't tell the flocks and things. So that's why the others that think something of themselves, they behave the way they do, right? Now, if a person is a Christian, they can look in the book and say there's Adam and Eve, right? They want to find out where the Garden of Eden is. So they think, many people think so that this is earth. The book says, get ye down all together, and earth will be your dwelling place. Get ye down all together, and the earth will be your dwelling place. So, where is this get ye down? That means you're somewhere else, isn't it? Right? And earth will be your dwelling place. And on the earth, this is what you will find. And how hard it is going to be for you to survive, dear. Yeah? But I will not forsake you, and I will send signs and wonders and everything unto you to help you mature there. You understand? And then that you all can, you understand, you will grow and grow. And the best of you who remember me, right, and everything, and follow my guidance and my inspiration and everything, you'll be able to come home. Right? Now, where is home? None of us know. See? But our father Adam was trying to stay where he landed to try and get the king. But them say them put these things called chirpings and everything there to prohibit him from entering. So there is somewhere where we can find, we should have found, so that in this life that we live here, we'll be close to where our Father was growing up. And even if we worship Him, at least we'll be making the right testimonies. See? So, that's just me saying that. That's not in our book. But my point is, once you tell the people them that seems to offend us because of our color, as my father would say, you are the bastard. And they say, why? Because you left home and you refused to come back. And now you've seen your brother, your father, your mother, your aunties and everything. You're somewhat in the spirit. So let me make life easy for you. I am. You are. Leave them with that He said that it's true. And the prodigal son is us.
You can't kick him like that.
Said, why is it
you can't kick him like that.
Because we know where home is. And
you can't kick him like that.
And my daddy told me that's one of the wisest things he tell me. Trust me. I didn't say it the way I say it. Can we just mess it up? Because he know that this thing affected me.
Jesus, man.
This Caucasian lady affected me. And I would have worked all my life. Right? Just trying to see if we could have changed the perception of us. But you know that every door, I might get to open it. And I'm going to just
Stay away!
I didn't. And I went to church
All you have
too.
to say, all you have to say is a
I went to enough places.
because I was born in a split.
But my thing was just to show them that I'm equal to them. That's my thing. Personally, that's my thing. To show English people I'm equal to them in everything. Not some things, everything. So I hate runners. I don't mind athletics, but I hate to see us competing for them. I don't like it. I don't like it.
You can't kick him like that. Stop being a brother.
Don't live in fear. Remember, there's a way to elude temptation. Just make a step, and He will welcome you with open arms. Just believe that the Lord will deliver you from your enemy.
See? And that's what the pastor them supposed to do. Make it fully understood. You understand? That the Almighty God will deliver us. You understand? That's it. But if you look for the Almighty God to be Jesus, then that's why things now work. And me now just to say that, you know. The Almighty God, see, will deliver us. Trust me.
Never again, no. No, never again. Never again right now. I'll never make the same mistake again. No, no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Someone once told me to use my head and not my heart. That's the wisest thing to do. Never you hurry from the start. But I didn't listen. I crossed my fingers and took her to the church. Now she's been listening. I keep lying to myself, saying it could be worse. Don't know which way to go. Don't know which way to turn. About the next time that I fall in love.
Now you see, when you are grounded correctly, even in the church and with your family and everything, them other errors out there don't conquer. The foundation is well balanced. The wicket is well rolled. See? And that young lady that you bring in your life, you and her, yeah? And then you bring forth these children, proper. See? And that's all our parents was trying to do for us. And that's all I would like to see us accomplish and achieve, you know. That's us. Anything else isn't us. You understand? Take care of ourselves, learn as much as we can learn, employ ourselves, that's one of the things that's really missing, create employment for ourselves and so forth, trust ourselves, take care of ourselves, and we're good. We're good. We are good people. But we just have to fall in love with ourselves for a day or a week and see and feel it. It's sweet. Life is valuable. Life is important. It's very important. When you lose a life of yourself, as in your family, it's the worst time. I don't like it. May I tell you, it's the worst time. Because you know life, you feel life now. And you're frightened for your life, but you're frightened for the fact that the life that you love, gone. And there's nothing on this earth you can do. So you're going to let some other people that not part of your life and your family go put bad spirit in you. Stay at home, man. Leave the bastard people, them statue alone. So come next week now with us, everybody will just write a letter to the House of Commons, to the cultural attaché, everybody, Home Office, everybody, the Queen and everybody. Just make her understand that these things, constitutionally and everything, ethically, morally, them things they need to be removed. Her Majesty, Your Majesty, Rastafari, write the letter. In the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who's revealed himself in the personality of his Imperial Majesty I Selassie I the First. Me know them thing. Write it. And don't forget the line of Judah. We deploy you. As his Imperial Majesty would have done. We deploy you to examine this. And show dignity and courtesy and respect to the Africans. Most particularly the children of the slaves, all across the diaspora. Oh, Your Majesty. Serious thing about you're going to make trouble with National Front. And them people want to try to kill you. Yeah, joke. Yo, Michael Rose, come talk, man. Hey, I may have some nephews here, you know, and niece and everything. Hey, I want them to have a life. I don't want them to continue to live in fear. We just went through this dark thing that we not come out of it yet. Think, man, think twice. Think. Yeah.
Too long. They have been keeping black people.
Yo, you see me? I tell you, when it comes to music, you know, we roll. Because we can punch them the right place. Listen. Listen.
Too long. They have been keeping black people down. They are trying to bring back slavery. Those days are far gone, can never return. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they have done. Who are holding my people hostage? Woe unto those who are trying to keep us down. Woe unto those that will lick them with a lightning. Woe unto those. Earthquake, let it shake. The IMF, they don't want to give us benefit no more. Cause they choose and refuse and abuse. Surrounded by Marshall and their bandits. Whoa, with their computers running the world. Building nuclear bomb, no you want to disarm. I said, woe unto those who hold my people hostage. Woe unto those who are trying to hold us down. Woe unto those that will lick them with a lightning. Woe unto those. Earthquake, let it shake. This is a worldwide test by the IMF, injecting by these guys who try to run the world.
Give thanks, man. Yes, man. And them thing me like, you know. Yeah, man, that come like support. You understand me? Yeah, man, if me wrong with something, just tell me I'm wrong and help me to be right. You understand? Because I try to be right. When I big head, but sometimes, you know, when it comes to the music. But I play this one for my girlfriends. You understand? Listen. I'm a sister too. I might read him this, you know. Easy, Jammies. Easy. I know it don't synchronize, you know what I mean? We just talk some wisdom, some understanding, the understanding about slavery and everything, and we don't want to try to take away. But, you know, that balance you know, them sisters, you see, them think say their blood is boiling. So we have to show them say we can be emotional as well. You know? We need that tender loving touch and care. Listen. Mr. Anthony Malvo, go on, my son, go on, sing.
Said a man has broke her heart and gone away. The pain still hurts her just like yesterday. She tried to hide her tears behind her smile, but it only lasted then for just a while. Everything was going great for quite some time. Blinded by love, couldn't read between the lines. So I said, don't worry, girl, it's gonna be alright. Although it's hurting, girl, it's for a while. Baby, don't cry no more. Dry your eyes, my love. Baby, don't cry.
See, after that, now she feel good now, yeah? So who's gonna massage you? You see what I mean? Last one of this, man. We love you with them bad. Oche!
Will you be mine, darling, until the end of time? As the sun may shine, I've been investigating about your present and past, yeah. And I've been observing you got a whole lot of class. So will you be mine? Will you be there for me? Will you be mine until eternity? Will you be mine? Will you be there for me? Will you be mine? And give love abundantly. Right now I've been thinking that we should have a date, yeah. 'Cause I'm penetrating. Don't keep it long, I will wait, yeah. Will you be mine? Will you be there for me? Will you be mine? And give love abundantly. It was that Sunday evening, the things we spoke about. I won't be deceiving, so don't you have no doubt. Will you be mine? As the sunlight shines, will you be mine? Will you be there for me? Will you be mine until eternity? Will you be mine? Will you be there for me? Will you be mine? And give love abundantly. I've been investigating so long about your present and past, yeah.
don't touch me. Riding west, you are the best, best, best. Through the popular request, coming from the east, check out Mr. Harry Geese. We're gonna have a musical feast. Way down south, where the little children used to play. In the north, it's very cold, man. Over and over and over again. Yeah, we are playing a selection from my elders them. Traditionally my father and my brother. So it's my brother and my father. And then my gone. You see? Yeah. Vintage tunes them. From my brother and my father and my gone. Big tunes, you know, I tell you.
I got a letter this morning.
Sure.
It's from the girl I left behind.
Yes.
And when I read the first line, I almost lost my mind. Because she's coming to the party tonight. But when I read the letter, I almost lost my mind. She's coming to the party tonight. Get ready, mommy, get ready. Get ready for the party tonight. We're gonna dance together, gonna have a real fine time. Get ready for the party tonight. I'm anxious for the party tonight. But when I read the letter, I almost lost my mind. She's coming to the party tonight.
Now, here comes the music. Now, here comes the music.
fighting just 'cause I'm around. Standing up, I'm standing firm. Believe me, the heat is on, you know that I'm taking my turn. You see, it's hot, it's again, and you can't fight it, just you will see how hot this can be. 'Cause heaven granted me, you know, the power to get it real artist. I know you can fight it. You can't fight it.
Rhythm up!
Mother ass.
Rhythm up!
They're trying to keep me down. Oh Lord, oh Lord. They're trying to keep me down. Oh Lord, oh Lord. They cannot keep a good man down. They cannot keep a good man down. Don't care all they try. They cannot overthrow me. One love, one heart. Let's get together and we feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and we feel alright. The good Lord is speaking. The good Lord is speaking. I said the good Lord is speaking. He's not sleeping. Da 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 da. Let's get together and we feel alright. Da 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 da. Let's get together and we feel alright.
Rhythm up!
Mother ass.
chains that binds me. I need no shackle to remind me I'm just a prisoner in love. At her command I stand and wait now, 'cause you're the master of my fate now. I can't escape 'cause it's too late now. I'm just a prisoner in love. What's the good of my caring when someone is sharing those arms with me? I can't find another, and I won't have another, 'cause I'm not free. You're in my dreams, awake or sleeping. Upon my knees, to her I'm creeping. My very life is in her keeping. I'm just a prisoner. I'm just a prisoner. Let me out. Let me out. Oh, yeah. What's the good of my caring when someone is sharing those arms with me? Yes. I can't find another, and I won't have another, 'cause I'm not free. Yes. You're in my dreams, awake or sleeping, my love. Upon my knees, to her I'm creeping. My very life is in her keeping.
Pull it up, selector. Pull it up, selector. A Lego this year one, yeah.
Pity thy children, don't let them cry. Pity thy babe and sucklings before they die. Why does the wicked ones rob them of their breasts, use their wisdom and leave them behind? Let them judge for us. Sing along, children. Let them judge for us. Good Lord, save them. Let them judge for us. Heal them spirit. Let them judge for us. Give us little soul, oh Lord. Show us the way. Give us little soul, oh Lord, each and every day. Let them judge for us. Give them spirit. Let them judge for us. Give them spirit. Oh Lord of mercy, please hear my plea, and let the
You can't kick him like that. You can't kick him like that. Yeah, you can't kick him like that.
Jesus
Covetousness and envy is killing all black race. Man and lost the love that we used to have. Gone are the days when we eat out of one pot. And gone are the days when we sit down and pure chat. Don't you know marble see me rush to nobody about that. The question we're asking is where do we go wrong? Your only conversation is I'm a third way to go. So what kind of message are you sending to the children? Everything to help your eldest little brother on the street. No, only bust your hands up in the weather.
You can't kick him like that.
Everything to help your eldest little brother on the street. No, only bust your hands up in the weather. The food that we eat. Everything to help your eldest little brother on the street. No, only bust your hands up in the weather. Your heart is not in the wrong place. Covetousness and envy is killing all black race.
This world is dreaming when man won't make no plan to wage no war no more. Just this equality guaranteed to all for sure. It must be somewhere to be found. It must be somewhere It's got to be somewhere to be found.
You can't kick him like that. You can't kick him like that. Yeah, you can't kick him like that.
Yes, I'm charged with righteousness, and my inner man, my soul to dedicated. When they raise high with their filthiness, we see them go down in the bottomless. Western, Redeemer come, but we can't taste the combo. From me banana goes the man a bongo. Redeemer come, but we can't taste the combo. From me banana goes the man a bongo. Hey. But they must soul, Rasta na go go. I am bubble shanty, I am binging.
So we say guidance. So our social conditions and social justice is what we need to do in view of what we saw and we have been experiencing for years over here, and they've been experiencing for hundreds of years over there. So the world I've seen, it is what we do with what they have seen. And over here is what we do and protect our young people them from entrapment and keep ourselves safe from entrapment also. And we guard ourselves, can respect for ourselves and positive reflection of all that has been started for us over the years. We owe it to ourselves. When you read really about the structures that is there and what they represent, yes. But again, I am saying legally, yes. But just vandalizing and this type of thing, no. You understand? Because the changes that we need has to be legal. The changes we need in regard to racism, institution and otherwise, it has to be legal. The changes that we need and how we are going to make changes for our children and our grandchildren, it has to be legal, because the law disrespects us. And it's not the law in the court as yet. It's the law within society. The very people who are supposed to uphold justice, rights and freedom in the society. Their governors are the constitutional politicians of the country. So if we don't understand that and recognize that, then we are wasting our time and we are fooling ourselves. So I am saying that I'm not the one that's well overread, but believe you me, I have understanding, right? And that's all we require right now, to understand. And that will bring about a vision, you see? And that vision is in our grasp. We can do anything that we want. Any human being can do anything. Anybody can do anything. But we want to do the right thing. We don't want to do foolish things. We don't want to follow foolish people, right? We don't want to be tricked. You understand? And your generation out there, so the younger ones, you do not want to be tricked, misused and abused, and then turn into fodder. See? Let us honor and respect ourselves, really. And let's sit back and strategize, you know? And then just remember for a minute that the individuals who recorded that thing, sent it viral, and the Almighty God did what only God could have done. The souls of human beings all across the globe responded. We should not let others now come and dirty and muddy up the situation. America is trying to do that. Huh? We shouldn't do that over here. We should look and analyze and be there to give support to those people and start our thing to remove racism. Why is the tide our work? We're supposed to move with the tide, not against the tide and behave a certain way. No. So may God Almighty forgive me. May He bless me, may He honor me, may He bless you all to receive all my thoughts carefully. And those who I have confused, may you all in your confusion find what my real illusion and conclusion was, and so on. So, me say, Assalamu alaikum, guidance, God bless us all. And tomorrow, we don't know what going, but principle did about, you understand, tomorrow. So, yeah, you understand, that's it. So we have to monitor the thing now and see if the people, them, find a way. But we're going to get independent, trust me on that one day, but find a way. So we would be analyzing political correctness, but it is respect that we need to uphold. And them last tune there are my brother and my father. Nice tunes, innit? Yeah. Guidance, when I go with a Sam, you see? Yeah, love it.
Yeah. 27 Psalms, my brethren. And when you try to hurt it, just keep it in your heart. Keep it in your mind. Keep it in your thoughts. The Lord is my light and my salvation, of whom shall I fear? The Lord.
Understand, faith without works is dead. You know what that means? You can't expect what you believe in for without doing your part. You gotta work that thing, honey.
Yeah. 27 Psalms, my brethren. And when you try to hurt it, just keep it in your heart. Keep it in your mind. Keep it in your thoughts. The Lord is my light and my salvation, of whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? Cause when the wicked, evil, my enemies and my foes came up with me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. No one shall encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. No wall shall rise up against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desire of John, that will I seek out, that I may dwell in the house of Jah the days of my life, to behold the beauty of John, to inquire in his temple. Cause in the time of trouble he shall hide me in his pavilion. In the secret places of his tabernacle shall he hide I. He shall set me up upon a rock, and now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round and about me. I will sing yea, and I will sing praises unto Jah. Hear, O Jah, when I cry with thy voice of mercy, also open me and answer me. Cause when thou saidst seek thy face, my heart said unto thee, thy face, Jah, will I seek God. Put not thy servant away in anger. Leave me not, neither forsake me, O Jah, of my salvation. Cause when my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord God, the Rastafari, will take I. He shall not suffer thy foot to be moved. Only with his eyes shall he protect and guide us day by day, night by night, blessing everywhere. So people how the time get rough. People keep the faith no matter how the time get dread. Cause the Lord is my light and my salvation, I say. Just keep the faith and hold on. Keep the faith and keep on keeping it on. Keep the faith and keep on doing on. Keep the the faith and keep on doing good, like you know you should in your neighborhood. To all the people you can, in every way you can. God the Lord is my light and my salvation. 27 Psalms I say. No war shall rise up against me, in this will I be confident. One thing wise is I have John, that will I seek God, that I may dwell in the house of John the days of my life, to behold the beauty of John, to inquire in his temple. For in the time of trouble he shall hide me way up in his pavilion, and take me up in higher, ever higher, 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 higher. Jah shall take I and I in higher region, take me to the city. What a beautiful city, where the people show a love and happiness and everything. For the Lord me light and all my salvation. The Lord that I'm a telling never fear. And the wicked man we have no fear. Keep on doing on, keep on moving on, keep on living on, keep on living up and do the good you can. Keep on doing good, 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 like you know you should, as I was saying. Oh, the Lord, don't leave it on you. Said you leave it like you love it, and you love it, and you love it, and you love it. Cause love is good and love is wonderful. Love is good and love is wonderful. Wonderful love, you know. God the Lord is my light and my salvation. Song of David. David sing another. Sing another song of Brother David's song. Song of love and happiness. Song of love and peace. Song of love and grace. Song of love and happiness. And I will tell you still again that the Lord is my light and my salvation.
Guidance. I see something just happened just now, and that's not us. But guidance.